Hello, everyone. My name is Modupe Adeyinkaoni, and today is International Day of Education. The world is celebrating the progress of education, and the theme for this year is AI in education. Yes, I agree. With AI, we have to have ethical use of AI in our education systems. Children cannot afford to be dependent on AI. They need to think for themselves and develop their own critical thinking before they prompt AI in the direction they want to go. How are we going to achieve this? Well, let's wait and see. The truth is, in Nigeria, we're already being described as 100 years behind the West. So the conversation around AI, while it is interesting and we need to jump on it, we also need to face our realities. The reality that more than half of our children are uneducated. They live in slums, they have no access to education, there's no infrastructure. And this whole AI conversation and digital literacy simply doesn't apply to them because they don't have access to anything. Now, let's go back to education. Let's dive into our history. Education came to our country because some people came and gave us education. Yes, through the South, Christianity came. Through the North, Islam came. Both religions brought with it a way of education. And from it, across Nigeria, North, South, East, and West, people have been educated. And we can see the fruits of that in Nigeria today. Take, for example, me. I am four generations of education. When Christianity came to my village, Ikorodu, my grandfather was a big merchant. His children were in the trade with him. But when they invited them to school, he decided to send his last two children to the missionary school. Of course, we know that along the way, they had to become Christians and they were baptized. My great grandfather didn't mind. And so my grandfather followed in his father's footsteps, got into education, and like his father, went to work in Nigerian railways. And of course, they traveled around Nigeria, which is why the Seriki family from Lagos is across the northern part of Nigeria today. So my father stepped on, they discovered he was brilliant. And so they decided he should go to Baptist Academy. From there, he joined John Holt and they saw his brilliance again. And he got a scholarship to go to Edinburgh University where he became a doctor. From that, three of us were educated, four generations. Our children are educated and they span the three continents, Africa, Europe, and America. That is what education does. Now we sit here, having been educated, and are proud of ourselves and of our education. And we forget that somebody came and brought us this education. And so we can boast about being 4 or 5 generations of educated. But what is that when the rest of our country is sitting in slums, when our children are begging? It is time that we begin to understand that the gift of education is a mandatory part of our role as educated citizens to ensure that other people get this same education. Because if not, there'll be no country. And while we might argue that we won't be there to see it, what a shame that in our lifetimes, what was given to us, what we benefited from, we killed it because we simply didn't care. And I don't believe that it is not that you don't care. I believe that you haven't really given it much thought. So today I'm challenging you. You look at your family. Some of you are second generation educated, third generation, and some might even be first generation. What has education done for you? Can you imagine your life without education? If you can't, then why aren't you supporting exercises like what we do, taking education to the underserved? It doesn't cost much, but the reward and the returns of it are enormous, not for you alone, but for the people. Do you like it when you see people begging on the streets? This year, as we think on education in Nigeria, let's think about giving. Let's think about paying forward what we have received. People came and gave to us. Let's go and give to others. Let's help others because I go into the slums and I see them. Nobody likes where they are in the slums. Everybody desires more. It's in your hands and my hands to make it happen. So I'm calling upon you. I'm calling upon Nigerians, wherever you may be, one child, one school, one woman, one community. Let's do it because it's possible.